I'm BIVRA, and I hold a Master of Business Administration, the Certification Project Management Professional, and a Certification Certified Scrum Master. I'm facilitator and designer of workshops with a legacy display method, and I have more than 10 years of experience in project management and around 8 years on university teaching. I'm founding partner of BIVRA, a Peruvian company that develops educational games with learning objectives, linked mainly to the business environment. With my team, developed the board game EarnValue, the art of managing projects, and the card game Breaking Down, Divide and Conquer. In this video, I'm going to explain how we developed our first board game, EarnValue, the art of managing projects. We realize that in project management, as well as other knowledge areas, there is a lot of information regarding standards, frameworks, techniques, tools, processes, methodologies, etc. Moreover, as it usually happens in management education, they are taught throughout theoretical lectures where the definition of each one is explained and even an example of application could be developed. This way of training doesn't have practical or laboratory work where students could apply what they have learned, experimenting that a big challenge is to define what practices apply to certain project situations that are always restricted by time and resources. Usually, the first laboratory work of students will be during the first real project that we'll face. The first option was to develop a simulator that are very common in business education, where students could interact with a virtual version of a project. However, successful application of project management practices, as well as other management activities, depends on people's abilities to interact with others, communicate, read body language, and negotiate. For that reason, a board game was the best option, where students could experience what happened in a real project that must be concluded on time and on budget, with a defined scope, competing for scarce resources with other players, and facing risks such as price hikes, conflicts, robberies, floods, fires, among others. Moreover, in a simulator, the designers of the game defined a set of consequences after some decisions, which are taken analyzing data or game reports. However, in a board game, those decisions are also taken based on players' attitude and reading body language, which increase the number of possible decisions and consequences. On November 2015, my team and I started working on the board game. We obtained the first prototype on February 2016, and we continued testing and improving it until March 2018, when we finally obtained the version that could be marketed. Here, just some of the boards that we have developed. At the beginning, the game had a lot of elements, and the project was represented by a Mario Bros. Drawing made of 280 squares that should be fulfilled with small plastic colored squares. The game took more than 2 hours. There was no interaction among participants, and not many concepts of project management were applied. Then, the Mario Bros. Drawing was replaced as the element that represented the project, and we started adding elements that represented common conditions that affect a project. However, the level of interaction among participants remained low. On 2017, we carried out many prototype tests with university students and professionals that let us improve the game and increase the level of interaction. The number of elements remained huge, however, the principal problem was determining how many days the project of the game took and how much money was spent, which are critical elements on a project. Finally, with all the lessons learned from 2017, we updated the board game twice and obtain a version that overcame the problems of previous versions, which is on production right now. The board game uses terminology and tools described in the Project Management Body of Knowledge Guide of the Project Management Institute, PRINCE2 methodology, ISO 2001-500, the practice standard for earned value management, and the standard for risk management. The learning objectives of the game are: get familiar with key project management terminology. In the board game, all the elements and mechanics are associated to the project management terminology. To name a few: deliverables of a project, which should be developed during the game; risks and what mean impact; stakeholders as the ones whose interests could be affected in a positive or negative way by the project; what is the meaning of mitigating risks, etc. Recognize the key elements that affect a project that should be considered during planning. Typically, a project is carried out to deliver a product, service, or result, and usually in the plan, all the efforts are focused on that. However, when we plan the future, we have to consider that we are not the only project in the world. So, there are limited resources, and even in the same company, we compete for resources. So, we need to determine additional efforts not directly related with a product, service, or result, but for ensuring the success of the project. In future, we have to face risks, so we have to think about what risks could affect the project. There are stakeholders that need attention, and there are human resources that are not machines and need also attention. Apply some project management techniques to increase the probability of success in the game. The risk cards are classified by impact on the game: low, moderate, and high, and also by probability, because some risks are more frequent than others. Thus, one of the most important tools in risk management is used: the probability and impact matrix. Analyze progress on the game using indicators of the earned value methodology. In the board game, it is possible to establish a plan before playing. You have the scope, which are the deliverables of the project, and you can establish in advance what you are going to do, which means establishing a schedule, and how much you are going to spend, which means establishing a budget. So, during the game, it is possible to obtain the principal indicators of the earned value methodology, which offers one of the most outstanding set of indicators used for monitoring and controlling projects. This board game has 6 levels. It starts with level 0, where the only objective is to develop all the deliverables of a project. When one of the participants accomplishes it, the game is over and that participant is the winner. The game starts with all the deliverables planned, and the objective is to flip all of them, which means develop them. However, since level 1, other success criteria will be considered to determine who is the winner. Let's take a look to the elements that are used in level 0. In each level, new elements are added. No one is removed. Extend the board. Place the containers with the resources and suppliers in the Buy Resources area, and the price flip chart in the center of the board with a price 300 BIVRAs. Every resource costs just 300 BIVRAs at this level of the game. There are 6 different colors of resources: 3 principals, orange, pink, and light blue, and 3 equivalents. The equivalent of orange is brown. The equivalent of pink is fuchsia. The equivalent of light blue is dark blue. Every container of resources has two suppliers, which just supply the project with their own colors, not the equivalents. Place the professional services tiles in the contract service boxes. Each participant chooses a card and places it on kickoff. Each participant randomly takes 4 tiles from the green bag, 4 tiles from the yellow bag, and 4 tiles from the red one. Each tile represents a project deliverable and should be placed on the table showing the side that has only the color frame, because they are planned deliverables. Each participant randomly takes 3 meeples of the white bag, who represent the project team or human resources. Take out the 3 EarnValue dices, the ones that have green, yellow, red, and gray sides, the beaker, and the wallet with all the deals inside. The youngest person starts, and the person on his right takes the wallet, since he will be in charge of the transactions of who is playing at that moment and will supervise that what he is executing is valid. In this game, always the one to the right of who is playing takes the wallet. The turn continues counterclockwise to the right, and the wallet also advances in this direction. As it is the beginning of the month, the player must request 5,000 BIVRAs from who has the wallet. Select 2 suppliers and place them in the cart. Remember that you can only buy in the month the color of resources of those suppliers that you have selected, not even the equivalent, only the colors of the suppliers. Place the 3 EarnValue dices in the beaker and throw them. When throwing the dices, if there are 3 different colors, the player must choose one of the 3 colors and move his card to the nearest square of that color. If it is occupied, he must move to the next square of that color. If there is a predominant color in the dices, it is not possible to choose. When advancing to the box that corresponds to you, you must count the number of green, yellow, or red boxes you pass through, which are weekdays, including the box you arrive. The gray boxes are not counted since they are considered weekends. So, if the box to which you must move is gray, the latest should not be counted. The number of green, yellow, or red boxes represent the maximum number of activities that you can execute. There are 3 types of activities, and you can only execute one type of activity per turn. You can choose not to do anything or to do less than the number of 10, but can no longer be used in later turns. The 3 types are: buy resources. For each weekday, you can buy 1 resource according to the color of suppliers you have selected in the month. If you advance 3 weekdays, you could buy up to 3 resources. Contract services. For each weekday, you can contract one service. If you advance 3 weekdays, you could contract up to 3 services. Develop deliverables. If you have both the necessary resources that the planned deliverable needs, and you have the professional in your team, or you have contract the professional service, for each weekday you can develop, which means flip the tile, one deliverable. If you advance 3 weekdays, you could develop up to 3 deliverables. The game remains this way until the end of the month. If when throwing the dice, the box to which you must move is in the following month, you must stay in the space between the 2 months, called milestone, counting the number of weekdays through which you pass and execute the corresponding activities. Once your turn is over, you must remove your suppliers and place them in their containers. If you had contract services, you must also return them. Level 1. Cards of risk level 1 are added. Time risks. The winner is the one who obtained the highest punctuation. 1 point, the one who first developed all the deliverables of the project. 1 point, the one who used time more efficiently, which is obtained dividing consumed days by developed deliverables. Level 2. Cards of risk level 2 are added. Cost risks. The winner is the one who obtained the highest punctuation. 1 point, the one who first developed all the deliverables of the project. 1 point, the one who used time more efficiently, which is obtained dividing consumed days by developed deliverables. 1 point, the one who used money more efficiently, which is obtained dividing expended money by developed deliverables. Level 3. Cards of risk level 3 are added. Scope, quality, and security risks. The winner is the one who obtained the highest punctuation. 1 point, the one who first developed all the deliverables of the project. 1 point, the one who used time more efficiently. 1 point, the one who used money more efficiently. Also, the dices yes and no are added. Level 4. Cards of risk level 4 are added. Human resource risks. The winner is the one who obtained the highest punctuation, the one who first developed all the deliverables of the project. 1 point, the one who used time more efficiently. 1 point, the one who used money more efficiently. And 1 point, the one who had less conflicts in the project team, which is represented by the number of human resource penalties. Level 5. Cards of risk level 5 are added. Stakeholders risks. The winner is the one who obtained the highest punctuation. 1 point, the one who first developed all the deliverables of the project. 1 point, the one who used time more efficiently. 1 point, the one who used money more efficiently. 1 point, the one who had less conflicts in the project team. And 1 point, the one who had less conflicts with the stakeholders, which is represented by the number of stakeholders penalties. Level 6. It is possible when there are 2 or more groups that are playing, you take the same rules for level 5 punctuation. However, the average is obtained in each group to determine which group obtained the best results. At this level, every group behaves as a portfolio of the same company, where the idea is to collaborate.